Your favorite rapper is Tom MacDonald. You've said this so many times over. Everybody knows this. You're always talking about how, you know, Tom did it again. He is the GOAT. How could
greatest
he top
white rapper, better white rapper than Eminem?
Yeah, 100%. Not even a question. Like he would have caused Benzino to you know off himself if he did a diss track. You know what I mean? Like Eminem can't compare.
You know, he's just telling it like it is, and he's saying stuff other people are afraid to say.
Yes. That's what I always want out of a rapper is to tell it like it is about these woke libtards ruining society. If that's what you're looking for, if that's what you're in the market for, everybody, White Tupac, also known as Tom MacDonald, is the man for you. Okay? So Tom made a song called Facts. And I have yet to listen to it. Okay? I've yet to listen to it. I've saved myself for you, Anthony Fantano.
You've showed an immense amount of restraint.
Well, it was all over my timeline. I've seen like bits and pieces of it. So let's just get started on this first. This came out of nowhere.
You've seen the clip. You've seen the clip of Ben in the hoodie.
I've only seen like this, what is on my screen currently, which I'm going to share with you real quick.
I've already seen this. It shocked me, but still, the way they look in those hoodies, that they obviously like, they must have picked those up at Michael's and then just iron screen printed on.
Yeah, exactly. It's just weird because like, I don't know. I mean, look, I'm 32 years old, right? Ben is like, I think 37 or something. And I feel like...
Is he 37?
I don't know how old. He is like around that, I think.
Am I older than Ben Shapiro?
Oh, he's 40. He's actually 40. So here's the thing though. But regardless of your age, like if you did something like this, like the way you carry yourself is different. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the way I carry myself, despite being 32, like is different than the way Ben Shapiro carries himself. Like he's like talking to Ted Cruz about like serious things, right? Like he's a part of the Daily Wire franchise. Like he is a goober, a nerd, right? Like, but not in like a, like, oh, you're interested in something type of way, but like,
right.
Like in the old school way. Like he's kind of a loser, but like also carries himself very seriously. So when he does something like this, I'm like, what the fuck? Like it just feels very out of place. Does that make sense?
And he knows it. He knows it. He knows how sort of like not cool and not hip hop he is, which is why he's really kind of like reveling in this moment. He knows how out of place he is here.
Yeah,
you know, well, and that's sort of the joke, because at the end of the day, like he's kind of just mocking. You know, he doesn't take hip hop seriously. He doesn't take the genre of music seriously. He's here to, you know, sort of look down on everybody, look down his nose at people.
Yeah, which is of course kind of ironic, but I guess he knows his crowd. This got 6.8 million views. First, let's start there. 3 days ago, it's #2 trending on music on YouTube. Okay, right. And there's a lot going on in the music space currently, and it got 6.8 million views in 3 days. And Ben, of course, famously tweeted out a while back that like rap isn't music, and if you disagree, like if you like rap, you're stupid, something along those lines. Of course, here's the
I did a video about that whole thing.
Let me pull it up. Here it is. Fact: rap isn't music, and if you think it is, you're stupid. It's like, oh, thanks, man. Fact: rap isn't music. What a perfect demonstration of Ben Shapiro's entire shtick, by the way. Like, calling that a fact is so funny. One, it's false. Two, it's not even a fucking fact. Like, even if you were to try to like present it as something, it's like completely subjective. Anyway, without further ado, I think let's get into it. Let's do it. Let's dive in here. All right, I'm gonna try to not pause this.
They call me offensive, controversial. It's only two genders, boys and girls. They can't cancel my message because I'm the biggest independent rapper in the whole freaking world. Claim that I'm racist, yeah, alright. I'm not ashamed because I'm white. If every Caucasian's a bigot, I guess every Muslim's a terrorist. Every liberal is right.
Yeah, can he say that? Can he say that? Fantano, can he say that?
Yeah,
is
man.
Is that allowed?
He's gonna get canceled. I'm worried about the guy.
Yeah, no, he can't be, but he can't because he's the greatest independent artist in the world, I think.
Right, you can't stop his progression.
Yeah. Wait, let me let it.
I don't want to talk to folks who don't get it. Go woke, go broke, no hope. It's pathetic. Pro-choice, pronouns, pro-love,
oh shit!
But you ain't pro-gun, no one to protect it. Where the American flags?
Oh my God. Did he just say where are the American flags? You're Canadian. Tom MacDonald, you're Canadian. Tom, stop LARPing. You're Canadian. You should be asking, where are the Canadian flags?
It's stolen valor.
I hate that.
As somebody who is born in America, it's stolen valor.
Yeah.
He's cosplaying as somebody who is a true blue, red-blooded patriot. And honestly, it's offensive to me.
Yeah, at most he's an immigrant. Okay, let's just put it that way. All right.
He is.
If we're having a conversation about facts, okay, here are some facts. Okay, we gotta secure the Canadian border. That's it. I'm saying it. We gotta secure the Canadian border. Everybody's looking at the southern border. No one is looking at the northern border. Okay, that's where the Tom MacDonalds of the world are coming into America and cosplaying as Americans.
Tom MacDonald is coming in. Jordan Peterson is coming in. We need to hit the reset button on this. Reverse it.
Steve Crowder.
Right.
Yeah. Ted Cruz. So many, too many to count. We really need to do a purge, I think. We need to send him back. All right, let's keep going.
Remember when people would hang those? They've been taken down, they all been replaced with.
Oh, you got to rewind this part. This part's great. This part I do know this part because I've read the bars before.
Yeah, remember when people used to hang those? They've been taken down. They've all been replaced with BLM flags or a rainbow. That's bars, man.
There's no more American flags anymore anywhere across the country. It's just rainbow flags. Yeah. You're progressive, but you ain't pro-gun, no one to protect it.
Where the American flags at? Remember when people would hang those? They've been taken down.
Where the American flags at? Bars.
He's like, yeah, it's all BLM and rainbows now. It's really fucked up. Maybe in Canada, I don't know. Woke ass Canada.
I really want to know where this guy is at, because the thing is, like, I don't see the America when I go outside that he's describing.
I live in West Hollywood. I don't see the rainbow flags or the BLM flags. Like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Okay. Yeah, it's so good.
This ain't money, cars and clothes. We ain't selling drugs. We ain't gonna overdose. We ain't pushing guns. Ain't promoting stripper poles. We won't turn your sons into thugs.
All right, time. What's funny about this is, like, of course, him and also Ben Shapiro as well. They always have to sort of, like, throw in these bars where it's like, yeah, we're not like other hip hop. We're not going to tell you to do drugs and wear expensive clothes and care about money. Like, meanwhile,
he's got Louis Vuitton shades on.
Well, he flexes how successful he is. He's always showing up with, outside of that corny ass, like, ironed hoodie, he's always got some shitty designer on or something. And then on top of that, he's, like, got multiple Second Amendment bars in his song. So how are you not pushing guns on? How are your songs not about guns?
Oh no, it's totally oblivious, because it's like, yeah, someone in the Genius annotation says this line makes no sense because Tom states 2 seconds before this, you ain't pro-gun. No one to protect it, insinuating that he himself is pro-gun. And what's funny about this, you're absolutely right. It's yet another instance where it's like, no, you don't understand. We're white. Okay? Right. We're not black while holding a gun. That would be fucked up. That's thug shit. So, he's just, it's always like, I don't have any politics. I'm just racist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, there has to be this insinuation that other rap music is degenerate in some way, even though he's very much guilty of pushing all the things that he sees as degenerate when people who aren't white are doing it.
Yeah. God. My favorite type of rap is always talking about how you're a lyrical, mystical, spiritual guy who doesn't rap about the regular stuff that people rap at in music, like hoes. It's just
and also, so far, keep in mind, like, not a single moment where he's attempting to state a fact, and not even by virtue of, like, fact, and then he just blatantly lies after. Like, nothing that he said so far is even trying to be like, oh, you want to hear some facts? Here's some facts, guys.
This is very fact-free. You're absolutely correct. This is just, like, so holeless. Okay, it's so nerdy. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but, like, every time I look at conservative music, the genre can be universally defined as, like, many people will say, like, oh, conservatives can't make good art. They can, whatever. There's debates on it. Who cares? I think there's one universal principle with, like, conservative art in general is that it is the most holeless ass music on the fucking planet. Okay, there is not a Deborah in sight that you're like, okay, like these guys got it. These guys locked it down a little bit. I don't know why. I don't know why they just like don't hire people. Anyway,
you know,
I guess what I'm saying
honestly, I'm gonna say I'm gonna counterpoint. Look, there's a breed of women out there who, if you go on the sound on TikTok for this song, like they're probably repping the track, you know, and they've got an America Bear Wolf shirt on, they're posing in front of an American flag, they're breaking a Bud Light bottle, you know?
Yeah, they got the worst haircut you've ever seen. I'm seeing how platinum their highlights are right now, just by like the yellow highlights that are coming out underneath the Trump cap. And they got what my friend Sear calls the Paul Mall, like they sometimes will have like a mole right there, or my favorite, Stormy Daniels has this like a little hole there where they put, like, as though it's a beauty mark, they put like a little piercing right there. Like that's the archetype, in my opinion, of like a prime Barbara in the wild. I'll show you in a second. Literally their fan.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Ben Shapiro has better bars than Eminem has his whole career.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm convinced. Dude, by the way, this guy's coming for your fucking job, brother.
Well, I was just gonna say,
28,000 likes.
I'm actually gonna start deleting my shit. I can't compete with this.
Yeah, this guy just came in and cleaned house, dude. Step aside, internet's busiest music nerd. Let me tell you, I'm internet's busiest music jock. Okay. Yeah, he's got you. His name is Alex Jones Rules. That's awesome. Okay, let's get back to the song.
I don't care if I offend you.
Oh yeah, he doesn't.
The way that hits, the way that hook hits. I love how Ben can't even.
What did you say?
Ben can't even. I was going to say Ben can't even for a split second stand there and look comfortable.
Yeah,
like
no,
he's got to have his hands like this, like he's a fucking, like he's a fucking child evil genius, like he's fucking Dexter's Lab, you know, fully like devising a plan.
I don't think Ben Shapiro's ever worn a hoodie before this moment. Like, he just looks like the type of kid who like definitely wore like a suit to school and had a roller backpack and just got consistently bullied by the other nerds. You know what I mean? Like, that's the vibes that he's putting out. He's just never worn a hoodie. He thinks it's ghetto. It's like thugs wear hoodies. I will never wear a hoodie. That's the type of energy he's got. Dude, there's nothing cooler than a rapper being like, they defunded the police. Now there's nothing to protect the streets.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. I have something that I want to show you after this.
Well, and also, like, protect you from what? Protect you from Tom MacDonald? Or people who think like Tom MacDonald? Is it a threat?
Well, this actually kind of dovetails into another genre of conservative rap music that my friend Sierra put me on. His name is Jesse Howard. Have you ever heard of New Breed?
I don't think so, no.
NU Breed and Jesse Howard. Oh, God. I got a phenomenal to show you afterwards. It's basically like the conservative fantasy is that, like, you know how, like, some boys or men will fantasize about, like, thwarting a school shooter or something? You know what I mean? Being in a self-defense style situation.
Sure, you know, a Jason Aldean, try that in a small town type scenario. Yeah,
a lot of, you know, white conservatives who are like suburb fascists, okay, small business fascists that live in the fucking suburbs and gated communities have this fantasy about people breaking and entering into their house as they like blow them away with their shotgun or with an AR-15.
Right.
You know? And that's what this is. It's like, oh, they defunded the police, so the police are not around to protect us from the death squads that are possibly going to come and kill us. Don't know why they have it. Don't know why they think about it, but it's a permanent fear that is instilled upon them. That, you know, they're coming after the HVAC business owner living in a fucking Texas suburb. But let's continue.
What would Ben do?
You ask yourself what Ben do?
Yeah, he wants to know what Ben would do. He's like, you know, when Tom MacDonald is just kind of like living his life, and you know, he sees, you know, a trans person kind of just living their life and being regular, and I don't know, using a bathroom that doesn't align with their biological gender. He's like, what would Ben do in this situation?
Yeah, yeah,
that's Ben Shapiro. How would Ben Shapiro handle this?
Ben Shapiro would probably ball up in a roll up in a corner as a little ball and cry in his hoodie. But I hope I offend you. I ask myself, what would Ben do? Let's just keep it real. Facts don't care how you feel, man. And this is, I love the genius annotation. This line, along with the title of the song, is a reference to Ben Shapiro's most famous catchphrase: facts don't care about your feelings. Oh my God, I want to die.
Just keep it real, facts don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man who don't respect. Let's look at the stats. I've got the facts.
Here we go.
Like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a wap. Dog, it's a yarmulke, homie, no cap. Look at the graphs.
Dog is a yarmulke, homie, no cap.
Yeah.
I think AAVE should now be illegal for white people. I've become a Twitter rad lib. I now agree with the sentiment that if you do AAVE as a white guy, like this genre of white guy, especially if you're like a conservative 40-year-old white man and you try to do AAVE, you're going to jail. Sorry.
You know, look, I understand why, you know, you or other people might be sort of like, you know, you might wince when you hear people advocating for that kind of thing, because you know, it seems maybe like it's going a step too far. It seems like it's kind of unnecessary. It's unfair. But like, think about the fact that it would prevent this. That's kind of a greater good situation. Also,
yeah.
Wait, hold on, time. I have to observe this. Sorry, I'm just like looking at the respective stances and shapes of Ben Shapiro.
He's white knuckling, dude. Look at him.
Wait, hold on. Okay, Tom. You know, Tom also, for anybody who doesn't know, used to be like an ex-professional wrestler heel. You know, like D tier, like local tier professional wrestler. So he's kind of standing there, you know, just like normal dude stance.
Okay, that's kind of cool. I mean, that's like the coolest thing I've learned about Tom MacDonald.
He's just kind of standing there looking regular. Meanwhile, Ben Shapiro seemingly has like no groin area. It's just his legs poking out from the bottom of the hoodie, like he's, you know, a 2005 scene girl with like, you know, the swoopy hair coming out.
He's also definitely on a soapbox. And you can tell because he's like 5'4".
Yeah, he's not as tall as Tom. He's not as tall as Tom. So you're right. There's definitely something going on there in terms of like making them seem the same height. And yeah, he is really punching his fists into that hoodie, which the sleeves are also scrolled up, you know, scrunched.
I think it's a size too big. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely swimming in his dad's hoodie there.
I love it.
Dad, can I borrow your hoodie for this? Can I borrow your hoodie for this?
Yeah, he looks like he's wearing his boyfriend's hoodie. You know what I mean? It's cool as fuck. It's awesome. Listen, that's the staple Ariana Grande boyfriend hoodie fit. You know what I mean? He's about to go make soup with the arms like all the way out like this. He's like, yeah, facts don't care about your feelings.
He just has the fingers just poking out of the top of the sleeve. Yeah, just fingers poking out of it.
He's cute as hell, bro. He's cute as hell. And I'm sick and tired of acting like he's not cute as hell.
He's adorable in it. Yeah. He's adorable in that hoodie.
Yeah, he is. I don't think that they shot this in the same room, by the way. If I look at the lighting, like, yeah, and I look at the focus, like the camera is focused different, the lighting is different. I assume that they just like green screened him in here, which makes this whole thing much funnier.
Yeah.
You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You go into prison. I'm on television.
You're blowing your money on strippers and cars.
Yeah, you're spending your money on strippers and cars. Which, by the way, like, Donald Trump does like half of this shit that they're talking about. Like, which is always so funny. They like ride for him so hard. My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat is kind of funny. I will say that. That's like.
Also, it's like, you know, it's really a lack of focus on who their intended target is here. Is it, you know, kind of like mamby-pamby liberals who they sort of disagree with ideology, or, you know, who they disagree with ideologically, or, you know, is it other rappers who they view as degenerate? Because those are not the same thing. You know, it's like your average Twitter rad lib is not blowing all of their
I'm
money
sorry.
on
This is who the
strippers and
target
sports
demographic
cars.
is. Do you want me to show you again? Who do you think the target demographic is?
I mean, in terms of who they're attacking.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's all over the place. There's no like narrative through line here at all, including like what you just mentioned, which is the notion that they are like anti-flexing and then simultaneously talking about how much money they have. My pockets are fat. Right. It's just, oh God. Like it's got a distinct VeggieTales energy to it. If it wasn't so like over the top fascist, but like in a cutesy way, I don't know how else to describe it. Like it's the classic, like, oh, maybe in a different world, we could just like try and get people to, you know, think that it's cool to not go to prison, right? Like in their minds, maybe there was a brief moment where they thought like they could present a different alternative universe where like people keep flashing guns and talking about drug dealing and making it seem so cool. Maybe we can do the same thing, but in the other direction, right? But then it's so hateful because conservative ideology is so hateful, reactionary ideology is so hateful that it falls flat and it goes in like to multiple different directions at the same time. So it's a rudderless ship, I guess.
Yeah, and it's all just based on sort of like a fear of a thing that you made up, essentially. You know, a world where there's no more American flags and it's just rainbow flags and BLM flags in every direction.
By the way, homie, I'm epic. Don't be a wop. That doesn't make any sense. Like, what do you mean?
No sense whatsoever.
Like a wet ass pussy is good. Like, what is that's not a bad thing? Like,
I mean, as previously stated on Twitter, he seems to be very against WAP.
Yeah, I think
he seems to think it's a problem.
He's like leaning into the idea that like pussies are not meant to be wet, I think
it's something that his wife just told him so that he doesn't feel like, you know, insecure about the fact that he doesn't elicit that. You know, she's like, honey, it's supposed to be that way.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. He's like, my wife told me, my doctor wife told me that you're not supposed to be, pussies are not meant to be wet anyway.
She told me it's dry because that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Or maybe he was being Italiophobic. You ever think about that? Maybe he wasn't even saying WAP. He was saying like WAP in the like the anti-Italian slur.
Yeah, that's somebody could have misheard that on Genius. That's actually that's a valid point.
Yeah, just the
I don't stand for that shit.
Yeah, and that's really fucked up. Dog, it's a yarmulke, homie, no cap. This is some clever wordplay on Shapiro's part. He says his yarmulke is not merely a hat, but a significant religious symbol in Judaism. This point is nuanced by the use of the vernacular phrase "no cap" to indicate that he is indeed professing the truth.
You know, not to give, I don't even want to give Ben credit on that. And look, not to portray Tom MacDonald here as like a god tier lyricist, but like I'm pretty sure Tom Ghost wrote this for him. No way Ben wrote this shit.
I don't think even Tom Ghost wrote it. I think someone else, like they got someone else to write this part because it is like
who else would they get to write it?
This is not a bad line. It's just like when delivered by Ben, it's just awful. You know who I would expect it from? Who's that like the Orthodox Jewish rapper that I saw that he was like there's a new not Matisyahu Chatters and no, not Lil Dicky either.
It could be. I don't know if this is the same guy you're talking about. I don't think it is, but there's also that BLP Kosher guy.
BLP Kosher. Yeah.
No, that's most definitely a BLP Kosher line. And
that's what I mean.
And you know, honestly, the dude has so many songs and spits so many bars. He probably has done that line. That's probably not even an original line. That's what
I'm talking about. Like I feel like it's something that I would hear from him and go like, "Oh, that's funny." Whereas like when it comes from Ben Shapiro with his delivery is so bad. It's just so unimaginably bad. All right, let's get back to it.
Knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section all woke Karens. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents.
I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. and my comment section is filled with woke Karens.
Karens.
It's so bad. First of all, his comment section is not woke Karens. His comment section is literally all like dudes that are sitting in their fucking F-150 just angry as hell, like 3 steps away from dying to heart disease, just getting angry with their skin tight Oakleys on, screaming about the exact same shit that Ben is screaming about on a daily basis. Anyway, but yeah. Another incredible bar. I make racks off compound interest. This is literally like the meme about backpack rappers, I feel like. Like, I feel like he is leaning into it.
He's appropriating backpack rap valor.
Yeah. Y'all live with your parents.
While also blowing all of your money on strippers and cars.
Yeah.
Nikki, take some notes. I just did this for fun. All my people download this. Let's get a billboard #1.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, he didn't even put juice in that. Come on, dude. You put your hand up like, at least like he looks like he's being puppeteered by someone. Like he looks like a marionette, or like you do look at the way he puts his hand up.
Let's get a billboard #1.
No, he's doing it like he's making a point on a podium during, you know, like a speaking gig at a college, and he's like, actually, the fact of the matter is,
I just don't know how someone can be so rizzless. Like, it's just like he has reached new levels of this. Like he's doing compound interest on the opposite anti-riz side. Okay. Yeah, I love the call to action in the song though. That's how you know the song is good. When you have to like get your audience activated to go and download the song so you can be on the iTunes charts, which is of course very easily manipulated by right-wing people all the time.
It also just comes across as dated because the vast majority of people are not downloading music anymore. It's not what they're doing.
Yeah, they're streaming it. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's like my people, you could say my people stream this, but you know, Tom MacDonald's fan base is one of the only fan bases dumb enough to like en masse buy the song, buy the music every single time it comes out.
This entire thing is so funny because like the iTunes charts are specifically designed for people who are still buying ringtones. Okay, that's it. That's the only, like, who do you know in your life, chat? Think about it. Do you know a single person in your life that has ever been like, oh man, this album is so sick. I can't wait to go to iTunes and purchase it and download it. Anyway, but yeah, he also calls out Nikki a little bit, which I guess, you know, it will reveal itself in a second.
#1.
This ain't rap, this ain't money, cars and clothes. We ain't selling drugs, we ain't gonna overdose. We ain't pushing guns, ain't promoting stripper poles. We won't turn your sons into thugs or your daughters into hoes. I don't care if I offend you. I was put here to upset you. You can cry and you can scream, you can riot in the streets. You defunded the police, now there's no one to protect you. I hope I offend you. I ask myself what would Ben do. Let's just keep it real facts, don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man who don't respect you.
I don't know if it's like nostalgia or not, but I miss like old school conservatism that would look at a guy like this with face tattoos and be like, I'm not hiring you. Like, get out of my establishment.
Right, exactly.
Like
it's just funny when I see people like him or people like, you know, the Forgiato guy.
Yeah.
Repping is hard for the ideology that they are, because it wasn't that long ago where, you know, friends of mine from maybe even a variety of different ideological backgrounds or walks of life would just be completely written off because, oh, you have a tattoo? Why is it? What's that on your neck? Why do you have a tattoo here? Why do you have a tattoo there? Da 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 da. You know, basically like completely unfucking employable because whatever it is about you is completely undercut by the fact that there's ink under some parts of your skin.
Yeah, one thing that I also must mention here is that these guys like basically are infinitely less edgy than like the most tame rapper out there. You know what I mean? Because like their entire shtick is that like, oh, I'm offending you. Am I offensive? While they're rapping about like, please give more money to the police officers, sir. Like, please fund your local police benevolence foundation. You might get a nifty little sticker that will come in handy next time you get pulled over for speeding. Like, that's not, like, there's nothing edgy about what you are saying, right? Like,
well,
you
also
can't
just like edginess as a marketing thing, edginess as an aesthetic, like is no longer relevant in any current day scene of music. It's just not. I mean,
yeah, this is like Marilyn Manson, like early 2000s era, where they're like, "Ooh, look how weird this guy looks. Look how creepy he looks."
And when it was relevant as a mode of artistic expression in the mainstream and whatever genre it was being employed in, like it mostly was offending conservatives.
Yeah,
you know, whether you're talking about the way that Madonna or Prince like paraded themselves on stage sexually, or you're talking about, you know, the gender bent ways that guys in hair metal used to present themselves, or like you just said, like in hair metal. But these days, like young audiences aren't really fazed or shocked by much of anything, and neither are their parents, many of whom are Gen Xers and grew up with that era of music and now just sort of like, you know, don't really see anything all that weird or outlandish about it. And the only sort of group of people now that are kind of like desperately clinging on to shock value as like, you know, an artistic currency are people like Tom MacDonald and people who are conservatives who are kind of, you know, just like anything else, boxing themselves into a fantasy where like every single thing that comes out of their mouths is like causing women with blue hair and piercings in their face to scream their brains out and cry and have a temper tantrum.
Here's a testament to exactly what you said, that like edginess is no longer like in vogue or marketable in that same vein. Lil Nas X, in my opinion, tries to do this very same thing, but like, there was a universality. It wasn't just like directed by conservatives to like get mad at someone like very clearly, you know, invoking the imagery of Jesus Christ or like sucking off Satan or whatever, right? Like that kind of stuff, I feel like used to get mainstream attention from everyone, like from both sides of the political spectrum. You would see it in like local news, like, are kids going to Satan? Like, are kids joining satanic cults? Things of that nature, right? And Lil Nas X did that, right? And the only people that got mad about it were like conservatives for a brief moment, and we moved on immediately. Same with him like coming back and being like, oh, I love Jesus. And now I'm actually throwing it back for Jesus. Like, it doesn't have that same like mainstream appeal. Or it doesn't have that like mainstream movement, but it's especially funny when you got these guys who are the guys who get mad at that sort of shit, being like, am I offending you? Look at me. I'm living a sober lifestyle. Is that offensive to you? Look at me having a wife and children. I bet that's offensive to you. It's like, no, it's not, brother. Like, that's just normal. That's the norm. Anyway,
no, it's true. And, you know, they want to believe that like that you just leading a normal life is an affront to quote unquote liberals who, for whatever reason, can't handle them just like kind of doing what they want to do. Like, nobody's trying to keep you from just having a wife and kids. Nobody really cares.
Yeah.
Like you know, like if that's really how you want to live your life, like it's not under threat, quote unquote. Like, nobody's stopping you from doing it.
No, you don't understand. The nanny state is making it illegal to have a wife and kids. Like, you don't get it. You know,
what they're upset about is that they see other people embracing other options and alternative paths in life, and that sort of makes them feel like their world is under threat, because the only thing that maintains it is that everybody just sort of accepts it as what they should just kind of do and just not question it.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
You mad. I guess it's cool to
You mad.
I'ma be the man. You said. You just try to get it.
Has he always had this many face tattoos? I feel like they've gotten like
worse,
hideously cluttered and worse all over the side of his fucking head.
Yeah, I do love, like I said, I do love the idea of like someone promoting traditional values while looking like this, though. It's like,
right.
He literally, I mean, he looks like he's, you know, white Tekashi 69 or something, and he's just like, yeah, you mad? You mad, libtards? That's right. I would never get an abortion. Like, I live in a nice little suburb. Yeah, I bet that fucking triggers you so much. You're Yeah, you get so mad about that.
You mad, you mad, you mad. You blame everybody else for every problem that you can. You sad, you sad, you sad. I will never say I'm sorry, I ain't taking nothing back.
No, say sorry.
No! Apologize! No! Apologize now! Say sorry now!
Riot in the streets, you defunded the police. Now there's no one to protect you. I hope I offend you. I ask myself, what would Ben do?
What would Ben do?
Let's just keep it real facts. Don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man who don't respect you.
And put in my chat said, he looks like they combined both members of The Antwoord. True. Exactly.
Also, what would Ben do as opposed to what would Jesus do? That sounds a little blasphemous.
Thank you. That's what I was thinking as well. Video by Nova Rockefeller. Absolute fire, absolute banger. What rating did you give this? Did you give this a rating?
Oh yeah, I mean, I give it a 10 out of 10. It's better than Kendrick's Pimp a Butterfly. It's better than anything Jay-Z ever put out. Honestly, I'm just excited for this guy to turn up on multiple tracks on the upcoming Kanye album. I mean, that's where this is all inevitably headed.
Oh God. Oh my Lord.
This guy's gonna be on Vultures volumes 1, 2, and 3. Multiple features.
He's producing. He's co-producing it. Finally, some real talent.